Today we're going to be working on Leetcode question number 381. Insert, delete, get random in O of 1, and also duplicates are allowed. So the randomized collection is a data structure that contains a collection of numbers, possibly duplicates, in a multiset. It should support inserting and removing specific elements and also removing a random element. Insert the randomized collection class. Randomized collection initializes the empty randomized collection object. Okay, and then the bool insert is gonna, just like the previous question we just did, it's gonna have three. We're gonna be inserting, removing, get random. The only difference is that he wants uh, all of the operations to be in constant time, and also the duplicates are allowed. Just like the previous one, we're gonna be making use of the like the array list of integer. Let's just call it nums because we're gonna be saving the exact values of those, and then we're gonna have like a locations hash map. But the only difference this time is gonna be, instead of just the integer to integer relationship, we're gonna have a set of integer. We're gonna call it logs. So this set of integer is basically gonna be a linked hash set. Okay, and we're gonna have our random function, java.utility.random. We're gonna call it rand. It's gonna be equal to new java.utility.random. Okay, inside the collection we're gonna have our nums, which is equal to new array list. Okay, and then we're gonna also set our logs to new hash map, which is gonna have an integer and then a set of an integer. Yep, so far we are within that constraint of having the constant time algorithm for all of them. So now when we're going to be doing the insert, just like the previous one, we're going to have our boolean contain, which is going to be equal to the logs dot contains key uh, and the value. Basically we're going to check if we have it or not. If we don't have it, we're gonna if we don't have it, right, we're gonna put it in. But yeah, in the insert we're gonna say that if the contains is not true. If the contains is not true, meaning we are not we are, if we don't have it, right, so in that case we're gonna say that the logs dot put the value, and we're gonna have a new linked linked hash set. Okay, and linked hash set, and that's gonna be an integer. Okay, in once we are out of this one, that means we are sure that we already have it. We already have that existing, like, so we have an entry for that value, right? But that entry is either a just initialized linked hash set, or it may already have the value. So for that we're just gonna put logs dot get value and then dot add nums dot size, and also we're gonna put that value into nums dot add value, and in the end we're gonna return whether or not we already contained it or not. Oops, whatever was the contains, we're gonna send uh, the opposite of that, meaning if we already contained it, right, we're gonna be saying that okay, you already contained it, so just return false. If there was no contains, then we're gonna be returning true, that okay, we were successfully able to insert it. Okay, a remove is gonna be again if we are removing it and we don't have the contains. We're gonna returning the false. Or we also need to calculate the contains. So contains is just gonna be like the boolean contains. Let's just say contain. Yep, contain. Okay, the contain is just like logs dot contains key of that value. Sounds good. So if we have it, if the contains is true, that we already contain, we need to remove it, right? Okay, in that case, we're gonna get the location, and location is gonna be logs.get uh, value, but then it's gonna give us the iterator. It's gonna give us the linked hash set, so we're gonna be using the iterator, and then we're gonna say we need the next one. Okay, so once we have the location, we're gonna say that logs dot get the value and then remove it, right, that particular location. Now we also need to update the nums too, right? So if it is the last element, if it is not the last element, we need to overwrite the our array list. So if the log is less than the nums dot size minus 1, in that case we're gonna overwrite it. So we're gonna say that the last location is equal to nums dot get nums dot size minus 1. Oops. Okay, and then the nums dot set log and the last name, last one, we call it last one, last one. Okay, so we have overwritten it, and then we're gonna update our like the hash map. So for that we'll say logs.get the last one dot remove the nums dot size minus 1, and then the logs dot get the last one dot add log. Okay, so once we come out of this one, we can just say that we're gonna update the nums to nums dot remove nums dot size. We can just remove the last one as we already overwritten it. Okay, if the logs dot get, basically if the linked hash set has become empty, there is no need to just keep it there. Dot get value is empty. If that is the case, you can just say that the logs dot remove value, and then you can say that everything was good, we were able to remove it, and we are good to go. And then the last one, it's gonna be exactly the previous one. In the previous question, nums dot get ran dot next int nums dot size. Yep. Okay, so let's give it a try. Looks good. and it works.